JonnyPink, this is very, very late in the afternoon. James and I were out this morning and we were out at Kenneth Hahn Park. Problem is, the camera that I decided to use today for video, I haven't used it in a long time. The last person that was using it set this lens into manual focus to shoot stars. I'm not going to say that it was me, but it was probably me since I'm the only person who uses it, and well, all that footage looks like this. One other thing I want to say, when I'm capturing all these things, I keep a really high shutter speed. To eliminate some of the blur and the movement, I'd rather have a higher ISO than a blurry photo. So depending on what I'm shooting, at least a 1600 most of the time. Soft, fuzzy, it wasn't tracking anything. So I came out, this is El Scorpion, and I'm re-recording this, but it's actually okay. Because for the last couple of videos, last bunch of different shoots, I have been using extension tubes to shorten the minimum focus distance. Now the last time I was out here, because I've got some great lenses, right? The last time I was out here, I was using my f4 600. It's the version 3, Canon EF. I specifically chose that one over the RF when I bought that. And I have the 1.4 tele on that, so I'm shooting at 840 millimeters at f4, sorry, at f5.6. For me, another thing I've discovered is 800 seems to be about the perfect wildlife and close-up lens for me. Everybody has something different. One of my comments was about a 400 millimeter. For me, that's just not enough reach. I want a lot more reach with my lenses. But to shorten that minimum focus distance on that, to get it closer, like the 100 to 500 is just absolutely phenomenal because of that short minimum focus distance. So I was using extension tubes, and I had 49 millimeters of extension tubes on that. And while I was out walking around here, I saw these wasps. So I was going to, and the wasps and the hornets. So I was out here and I saw the wasps and some hornets. And I was going to make a video just for that and make it really, really short. But heck with it, man. Let's make it really long. When we were shooting this morning, this time I'm using my 800 millimeter, but the extension tubes that I have on these, since Canon does not currently make an RF version, are the Meike. And I have to say that, I don't know if you can see that or not. Meike, can you see that? Anyway, when I was shooting EF glass and shooting macro, I tried third-party stuff, but it was crap. It just doesn't hold really well. So I bought all Canon stuff, locks on, beautiful. And if you're holding a $13,000 lens, you don't want crap on there. I'm just telling you right now. So, since Canon doesn't make one, I bought these, and I really do think they work nice. I'm able to shorten that minimum focus distance, not as much as with my EF Canon ones, but it works really, really nice. These are just really loose. So Mikey, if you're watching, which you're not, these things are loose. Can you make some quality products? Because I would use these. A lot of people would, but that's my opinion with third-party stuff. But aside from all that, I shot some hummingbirds, and every time I use this lens, especially on the R5, I'm more and more impressed with it. So, before I get too far and too long into this and just being really long-winded, let me share some photos with you guys. Man, I'm quickly running out of light out here. It's late in the evening, but the advantage to having done that is I was just really going out to play with this a little bit and to hang out with James, and that was really cool. None of it's in focus, and that's okay too. It gives me an excuse to come out in the afternoon, but I'm gonna go out again tomorrow, and I'd really like to go shoot some eagles, but I don't want to get too far into that one in case it doesn't happen. I was able to look at my photos instead of present them to you guys, and every time I think, I'm just going to take a couple of photos, I come home with thousands, and I'm not holding down the shutter. I shoot in short, small bursts. It's just so much fun to shoot. I shoot what I do, and then I dump the rest, and if this blows over from the wind, well, then that's just what's going to happen. Oh, man. I'm more impressed with this lens every time I use it. Some of the old school myths, and oh, you can't use a teleconverter, you lose too much in your, well, you do lose light. But the new technology is not your grandfather's technology. It's not film, it's not a DSLR. This is mirrorless. It's a completely different animal. And it's just still so pin sharp. Now, I can't speak to Sony. I'm sure Sony is fantastic. I won't speak to Nikon because, well, I just won't. But Canon that I use it specifically because I love their color and everything just works. It's spot on, it's sharp, it's almost perfect for me. You know, you may have a different opinion, and that's fantastic. So all those old myths, don't use a teleconverter, you lose this, it's not as good, it's not as sharp. Nonsense, absolute nonsense. Don't shoot with a high ISO. Well, that's absolute nonsense too, because the tools that we have right at our fingertips make all that a non-starter. Before I got this particular lens, which is an f11, I poo-pooed it. Oh, it's f11. That's the old school side of me. No, man, it's f11. You can't do it. But what I've discovered is that I love the clarity on this lens. It is fantastic. The other thing I've discovered is that when I shoot the 100 to 500 with a 1.4 tele on there, so I'm shooting, or extender. Canon calls them extenders. Not extension tubes, but extenders. So at that one, I'm shooting at 800, I think it's 840 millimeters. I don't remember what it is. Anyway, so when I put the 1.4 on the 100 to 500, I'm shooting at f10. And you know what? Phenomenal images. Yeah, you lose some light, but the images make up for it. So if my ISO goes up to 10,000, no problem. Easy piece of cake with today's technology. So don't let those old myths get in the way. Thank you for letting me share with you guys. I do appreciate it. You have a fantastic day out there, whatever it is you're going to do. And if anybody knows somebody that makes some of these third-party R extension tubes, we need some quality ones, because I don't know if you can see how much that moves. These things suck. They're terrible. They're really, really loose. I don't mind losing an $800 lens, but I wouldn't put an expensive one on here because I don't want it to go plop. I've been walking and had this thing disconnect on me, so that's why I keep everything double clipped. It's clipped to the camera, it's clipped to the lens, and when it did disconnect, it went this way, but everything was safe. If you've ever dropped something, it's very heart-wrenching. Johnny Pink, thank you again for letting me share with you guys. This is El Scorpion, and again, I'm out because, well, somebody forgot to put their lens back in autofocus, and Canon's focus. Well, all the cameras these days, not all the cameras, I'm just going to talk to Sony and Canon. When you go into video, it's just quite amazing. Johnny Pink, again, thanks, man. We'll see you guys.